All right, to the NBA now. Lakers in Memphis, first run for the Grizz since the sudden firing of Taylor Jenkins Friday. Both teams started the night tied for the 4 seed. Check this out in the second. Luka in transition gives it up. LeBron, kaboom. Now that looks awfully similar to another iconic play. Look at that. In fact, let's flash back to it, Mike. December 6, 2010, Heat Bucks. Dwayne, LeBron.
It's close.
It's close. And what's crazy is the vertical.
Yeah,
is still
same
there.
at 40.
Exactly, yes. All right, early fourth quarter, Ja. Rock solid night for him. He had 22 points, 10 assists, 8 rebounds. Grizz led by 1. Under 8 minutes to go. Heads up play by Dorian Finney-Smith. You know, LeBron's numbers have been down in the 4 games since he's come back from the groin strain. You can expect it. He was averaging 25 before the injury. He had 25 in this game. Luka had 29, 8 rebounds, 9 assists. Austin Reeves had a game-high 31, and J.J. Redick and the Lakers get this one in Memphis.
I think the biggest thing about our group is the response to the other night when we lose on a half-court buzzer beater. And I said before the game that we'll be ready to play, that our resolve. I'm not surprised at how hard we played and how well we played tonight. I made sure the group knew that I believed still, and that the coaching staff believed, and they were resolute in their belief in this team. All 3 of those guys, and then everybody else.
Well, Luka, LeBron, and Reeves all finished with more than 20 points, 5 rebounds, and 5 assists for the second time in the same game this season. That's already tied for the most such games by any trio in Lakers history. Saturday was just the 14th time all 3 have played in the same game, and the results are pretty good.
It's David Dennis Jr. here with me right now to get a reality check for this Lakers team. The Lakers defense has been atrocious, allowing 124.5 points per game over the last 6. So, David, how capable is this Lakers team of hiding that suspect defense behind that offense?
Well, really, that's the only option that they have right now, with that defense being in the slump that they have. Their best chance is turning that big 3, Reeves, Doncic, and James, into a real formidable, unstoppable big 3. Last night, they kind of looked like that. They were responsible. Those 3 were responsible for 120 of the team's 134 points. The 3 guys, 25, 5 and 5, and 2 threes. We've never had a trio do that in NBA history. The other benefit of playing an offense like that is you force a team like Memphis, when you have a big like Zach Edey, to make a decision with what you're going to do with somebody like him. When he was dominant in the paint, they put him in some of that pick and roll action and made Memphis make a decision. Edey did not play the last 5 minutes. I don't agree with that decision, but at the very least, you make them make a choice. And you're going to have to do that come playoff time, whether it's with Rudy Gobert, whether it is with, some of those other bigs, whether Zubac or somebody. If you can score on that perimeter and put the bigs in that action, that can offset some of the trouble that they're going to have, because they are going to have trouble trying to secure the rebounds and be defensively apt with those bigs they have to face.
Look, I know scoring is sexy in the NBA, but I'm all about defense. You're going to have to play some defense if you want to go far in the postseason. Well, the Western Conference is loaded behind LA. You have the Grizzlies as a 5 seed with Ja Morant back. The Clippers are 6, and just behind them are the Warriors and the Wolves. So let's play Dennis the Menace. Which of those 4 teams are most capable of being a menace in the postseason?
All right, so first of all, in a vacuum, I'm going to go with the Golden State Warriors, right? Because they are playing that same formula that won them a championship a few years ago. Top 5 in offense, top 5 in defense, and Jimmy Butler has been on that team. Of course, you have Wardell, Stephen Curry, Davidson's finest, who can do what he does usually, be the best player on the court. You can have playoff Jimmy, and you have Draymond Green, who is playing prime Draymond Green defense. Now, that's in a vacuum now. The other thing is a lot of this West is going to come down to straight up luck. One of those teams is going to be an 8th seed, which means that they do not stand a chance against OKC. But I would pick any of those teams over the Rockets, and then you have a Minnesota team that just seems to have Denver's number. So a lot of it's going to come to luck and who's matching up against who in the Western Conference playoffs.
And I know we were talking about the Lakers and Luka and LeBron James in that photo. I mean, just the comparison between LeBron James and Dwayne Wade. I already told you guys that the Miami Heat version is my favorite.
You were too kind about it.
I was really nice about
America,
it. I'm not gonna lie.
America, stop it. Stop trying to make fetch happen. Do not compare anything to the D Wade and LeBron photo. Please. It is an iconic, once-in-a-lifetime photo. I don't want to see it anymore. Nothing compares. That shot doesn't compare.
You're
Nothing.
right.
Stop it, please.
David says stop trying to make fetch happen, and I could not agree more.
I'm not really sure I'm taking any right now, considering
What?
they're the only team that have two bona fide superstars that are in contention. You look at what the Suns have, they're not really in contention, and I understand that the Warriors added Jimmy Butler. But when you look at OKC, are we sure they have two? Now, we know they have one bona fide, which is Sharpe. Love Jalen Williams, just dropped a career high the other night, 41 points, and they seem to be playing extremely well. But the way the Lakers are playing right now, the way Luka is starting to get his legs, get his conditioning back, and LeBron has been great. He's been great his entire career, but he's really been exceptional since he's turned 40. I'm not sure that I'm taking anyone. Now, we know things can happen, but if the way they're playing and keep building chemistry, remember, they played last night without Rui. They played last night without Kobe of the Ozark, which is Austin Reeves. When they get those guys back, with the way the bench is starting to play, Connect is starting to get his legs back. He's starting to get over, man, they shipped me out. They brought me back. He's starting to get over that. I like this Lakers team. I'm not sure. Are you telling me in 7 games they couldn't beat Memphis? They couldn't beat the Nuggets? I told you the other day, Stephen A., it doesn't matter. OKC, KFC, UFC. Lakers in 5.
You know what, man? Listen, it's gotten to the point where the Lord can come down and sprinkle water on somebody and touch them. And Shannon would still pick LeBron James before one of those people. He's ridiculous. Stop this nonsense. With the Oklahoma City Thunder, have you seen them? That's the one team I think that you look at right now. I know they lost in the playoffs last year to Dallas. I know they're young. But you see that brother, that Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, you see how nasty that brother is, that superstar that he is. You saw Jalen Williams do what he did yesterday. You see Hartenstein and Chet Holmgren, the combination. Let's not forget Alex Caruso being there as well. Why do I bring up names like Alex Caruso, Shannon, Ocho? Why do I bring up a name like a Chet Holmgren as well? I did this on NBA Countdown yesterday, and I couldn't wait to throw this out there at you, Shay, because I know you was too busy to watch, because Lord knows you got 1,000 things to do. You ain't had time to watch it, boy. But that's all right. That's all right, okay? Let me tell you this right now. Check this out, Ocho. OKC's NBA rankings in defense and hustle categories. Defensive efficiency, #1. Field goal percentage defense, #1. 3-point percentage defense, #1. Steals per game, #1. Turnovers forced per game, #1. Points off turnovers, #1. Deflections per game, #1. Loose balls recovered per game, #1. Charges drawn per game, #1. I mean, damn. What do you have to do? What else do you have to do? Shannon, Ocho, all they need is one of those brothers to step up and help out Shai, because we know Shai gonna do his thing.
Every time.
All they need is one of them. I love what I'm seeing from the Lakers. We all know I'd rather be in LA than Oklahoma City in May and June. We know this. But in the end, let me tell you something. OKC, they can't be dismissed. That's the one team I think.
Are you willing to put your reputation? Are you questioning whether or not GOAT James in a 7-game series, Luka Doncic in a 7-game series, are you willing to take these